I'm speaking to you today because I regret the abortion that I had in 1974. It was the cruelest decision I have ever made. It was cruel to my husband, who would not talk me out of it, who could not talk me out of it, and who would go through life wondering, as Miguel, was it a girl or a boy? It was cruel to our only daughter, who was 18 months old, who was going to miss her brother and sister very much as she grew up alone. It was cruel to my brother and sisters and my parents, who would be forever deprived of a niece or a nephew or a grandchild. But the one who suffered abortion's cruelty the most was myself. If I had taken a razor blade to my wrist or swallowed a bottle of pills, the damage to myself would have resulted in my own death. But I did not die from my abortion. My baby did. My death came slowly afterward, as I drifted into self-destructive behavior that somehow would justify my own inhumanity to my child. I was not only trying to destroy myself, but everybody that loved me. Because how could anyone love or forgive a woman who kills her own child? I went even so far as to sterilize myself at the age of 30, so that I would not have to come to terms with the little person that was waiting for me in heaven. The thought of another pregnancy terrified me. Loving another child and being loved by that child was something I did not deserve. As the years went by, my wall of silence surrounding my second child began to break down. God was calling me from outside of the prison I had made in my heart. I felt compelled to reach out to other women and girls to tell them the truth about the choice of abortion. I began to work at a birthright crisis pregnancy center on FM 1960 in Spring, Texas. I felt somehow that I had been given a second chance. I shared with hundreds of scared women and girls why they should give themselves and their babies a chance to live. How the sound of the vacuum would haunt them forever. I showed them what the baby actually looked like in their tummy. My own baby, however, remained an elusive nightmare hidden in my heart. How could I ever know that God would work a healing in me that I would never suspect or ask for? Our only daughter was 17 years old, and I suspected that she was pregnant. We ran the test, and it confirmed her dad's and my fears. She was indeed pregnant. The psalm, "The sins of the fathers would be visited on the sons," blared in my brain. I told my little girl my darkest secret about my abortion and hoped it would dissuade her from ending the life of her baby and ruining her own. The father of the baby and Planned Parenthood used all their lies to convince her that abortion was the only rational thing to do because of her age. And by the way, she was a minor at the time. The abortion was scheduled for May the 11th. On the night of May the 10th, I finally began to mourn the loss of my own baby and the grandchild that I thought that I would never see. The identity of my own child came racing finally into my heart. Our daughter went down to the Planned Parenthood abortuary on Fannin in Houston for her scheduled abortion. But God had other ideas for this young mother and her baby, as well as her grandma. The doctor inserted the suction aspiration machine into her uterus the standard 3 times. She was 11 weeks pregnant. They sent her home bleeding and in a lot of pain. What they did not suspect that the doctor missed the baby entirely. God placed his hand inside her uterus and said, "Not this one, not this time." Her due date was December the 25th. And as I gazed down into the eyes of this precious miracle, I saw the face of all God's unborn children. I saw the face of my child, and I knew I was forgiven. Abortion is about maiming the deepest and strongest instinct of a woman or a young girl. Even when you think you cannot be forgiven, remember, He will never